Good afternoon and welcome to TV50's coverage of Green Machine football from Sycamore. It's the quarterfinals of Class 5A football playoffs with the #1 seed, the Geneseo Green Machine, coming in at 11-0, playing the Sycamore Spartans, who are 7-4. Good afternoon. This is Lauren Lemke along with Zach Mackey on a cold November Saturday afternoon. Temperature may reach 32 degrees. We've got a light wind coming right at our faces here, Zach, at about 5 miles per hour. We're set for football in about 2 minutes here from Sycamore. This ought to be a great game between two teams that will play for the third straight year.
Oh, absolutely. You talk about that cold, though, and it's always a good feeling whenever you got to bundle up, because that means you're making a long run into this playoffs, and that's what the Leafs are getting to right now. They're, getting into this quarterfinals, looking for a semifinal berth, and as the Leafs make their way to the sidelines, you hear the fans erupt. This Geneseo side is filled with fans. Sycamore fans aren't to be seen yet. They still have a pretty bare section, but this Geneseo section is full. People along the fences. It's an exciting time here in Sycamore.
Geneseo, of course, winning last week against Rich East in the game. They had it wrapped up at halftime. Meanwhile, Sycamore had a tougher opponent. They won 15-14 against St. Viator. St. Viator missing a field goal that would have won the game. So Sycamore had to do it to get the job done last week, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They come in here playing on their home field again. Yeah,
and that's something that you always wonder. A team like Sycamore that had a very competitive game last week, and Geneseo had a blowout, really. They rolled over Rich East. So how these teams respond now, this is a big game for this Geneseo team and a big game for the Sycamore team. We always look at, when we look at common opponents, that's something I like to look at, and Geneseo has the nod there. They definitely do, beating DeKalb and Yorkville, which Sycamore fell to. So when you look there, but again, playoff time, everything goes out. It's live or die by one game.
The other two opponents were Sterling and Ottawa. Sycamore finishes 4th in their conference, but yet they're here in the playoffs at 7-4. Geneseo did win the coin toss. They deferred, so they will be kicking off. And Geneseo about as healthy as they can be. Week 12 of the season, we got some guys dinged up, but we got a lot of guys back this week, including Cooper Humphreys and Jacob Beeth.
Yeah, it was really scary during that Belvedere game. We saw a lot of players going out, but it seems like just about everybody is back, ready to go. A lot of guys, a lot more guys are going to be seeing some time this week than did last week.
So Ryan Ganson is set to kick off. He has the ball on the tee with 2 returnmen back deep for Sycamore at around the 5-yard line. Light wind blowing across the field. And this Class 5A quarterfinal playoff game is underway. Ganson gets underneath it, pops it up short, and it's fielded at the 40-yard line.
Leafs kind of squib kicked it there. It looked as if they had enough speed to get down there, but it looked as if it was a miscommunication. Nobody was really flying down the field going after that ball. Good field position now for Sycamore to start things off.
So for Geneseo today, Lane Akery is going to get the start at the defensive line position. So Geneseo is going to go more with that run-type defense with Grant Pritchard up there and Drew Himmelman, and Jacob Yarger is also starting on that defensive line.
Oh, and they definitely need to, because Sycamore's got a really good running back quarterback combination.
Their quarterback, Brett Bemis, his first pass incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. The rest of the starters here as we look over the secondary, Tyler Mackey, Cooper Humphreys is back, Will Daniels and Jordan Chanowski. The linebackers are Ryan Pitra, Justin Scott, and of course we mentioned Jacob Beeth is in the lineup. He starts at linebacker.
Jacob getting back in there. He had a tough week of practice, having a finger injury, of course, on top of his knee injury, but now he's back ready to go in that linebacker position.
2nd and 10 from the 40, handoff, and Geneseo stuffs it. A gain of 1, setting up a 3rd and 9. Deion Hooker with the run.
Yeah, Deion Hooker, he's a good player out there. He's got a different helmet than everyone else. I give him the nice helmet because he's going to get a lot of carries. He had 16 carries last week, and he was kind of keyed on by that St. Viator team. Only 33 yards, but that's when the quarterback really stepped up for Sycamore. Now Geneseo's going to be keying on both those guys today.
Brett Bemis, 6'5", a running and throwing quarterback for the Spartans. 3rd and long from their own 41-yard line. They'll try the sweep play with Hooker coming to this edge, and Geneseo makes some contact, but he spins off a tackle and looks like he has the first down right over midfield.
Yeah, and they're going to move the chains. He's got the first down. Containment was something that was lacking for the Leafs on the left side. He was able to just just able to get right outside there. And we didn't have much help on the outside. We were outnumbered by that Sycamore offense.
Hooker comes in with over 1,300 yards rushing. He played last year, had 50 yards against Geneseo in a 19-0 win here at Sycamore in week 4. From the midfield stripe, Hooker gets the call again, hit and driven back to the 49-yard line. They'll give him forward progress up to about the, right back to the line of scrimmage at the 49.
Perfect job right there by Drew Himmelman, manhandling his guy right back into the running back. Nowhere for Hooker to go there on the left side.
2nd down and 10 for the Spartans.
And we'll see a little bit of a different defense now as Devin Haxby's going to check in. Tyler Mackey checks out there. This Leafs defense has thrown something new in this week, kind of a stinger defense, if you will. That safety's going to be keying on Hooker, and with second and 10, look for him to get the carry, and that's where this defense now. You got Devin Haxby. He's going to be keen on that running back for Sycamore.
Matt Kuvert splits wide left. He caught 10 passes last week. Bemis under pressure. He's sacked by Grant Pritchard. Back at the Sycamore 42. It's a loss of 9.
Right in there was Grant Pritchard and Jacob Yarger. Both those two have been outstanding on the defensive line, being able to get right on through. Brings up a big 3rd down play now.
First sack of the season for Grant Pritchard. The team has 16. They marked forward progress at the 44, even though Pritchard had him back at around the 40. So now a 3rd down and long for Sycamore. They converted on their first time at 3rd and 9. It's 3rd and over 15 yards.
They're going to spread it all out. Look for him to throw it that 15 yards.
Ball is snapped. Bemis throws over the middle, a wobbling pass. It is going to be caught near that 1st down marker. Will Daniels and Tyler Mackey making the tackle on Colin Trummel. They needed about 16, and they meant to bring in the chains here measure.
It's all going to be where that spot is, where that official marks it at. He was diving back before the ball was Trummel, so it's all about where they're going to do this marking, and it looks like they're going to bring the chains out and get it right.
I think they're going to be a little bit short here. That football was on the started at the 49, but they stretch it out, and of course we've got a bad angle here, and it's a 1st down. So Sycamore converts on 3rd and long again. Geneseo has been able to do a good job on 1st and 2nd down, but just have not been able to get Sycamore off the field.
Yeah, they've again, anytime you can get a team 3rd and long, you're doing something right, and you just got to get one more down. Here again, if you can get them 3rd and down, they can't convert every time. So watch this defensive line go at it again. They've been doing great so far this game.
Spartan football just inside the 40-yard line, and the first penalty comes out. First flag of the day, and it's a 5-yard false start penalty against the Spartans.
Penalties were something that during the regular season plagued the Leafs, definitely. They had 9 wins, they had a fantastic regular season, but they were plagued by penalties throughout, averaging about 50 yards in penalties a game. That was something that you don't usually see a 9-0 team do, but they've cleaned it up in this playoff run.
These penalties in playoff games are so big. It's going to be the little things today that win this football game. Devin Haxby is in the secondary for Geneseo. Will Daniels on the receiver wide right here. Trummel on 1st and 15. Fake it to Hooker in the backfield, tried to get out to Kuvert, and that pass incomplete.
Yeah, they tried to run a screen play over to the left side, and they've been known to do this. Whenever it's 2nd down, 1st down, it's a long way to go. They've been known to throw that screen pass. It worked against St. Viator, so look for him to go through it throughout the contest.
Bemis last week was 17 of 24 passing, 127 yards. Right now he is 2 of 4, and he's got a 1st down pass.
I'll tell you what, he's a good quarterback, but back there about 52% pass completion, but Geneseo quarterback Greg Russ about in the 60%, so even a better passer on that side.
Give it to Hooker, the tailback. He gets the penalty yards back as he's going to be stopped near the 40-yard line. Again, a 3rd and long coming up for the Spartans. Geneseo needs to get him off the field here with a stop.
And you saw a little miscommunication by the Geneseo secondary trying to figure out this Sycamore team is a team that likes to really get into weird formations, try to just trick the defense into these different formations. So look for the Leafs. They did a good job there at calming down. You know, you're yelling, trying to get everything, but you just once it snaps, you just got to do your job and just calm down.
Scoreless first quarter, 8:10 to play. Spartans 3rd and 12 from the Geneseo 41-yard line. Opening drive for Sycamore. Bemis in the pocket, looking to his right, throws. Pass is incomplete. Receiver did catch the ball, but he was out of bounds on the Geneseo sideline. And here comes the punt team for Sycamore.
Now the Geneseo offense is going to get to come out here, but nice job by the defense. They had one struggle on that long third down play that they were looking to get a stop on, but nevertheless, next set of downs, they get the job done. And they're going to keep, it looks like, just about this regular defense out there, not try to trick anything. Look for trickery.
Coover is on a punt for Sycamore. Devin Haxby and Jordan Shanowski back. This ball's in go to Shanowski, fielded at the 10. He's hit immediately, spins away, and is able to get up to about the 12-yard line. Geneseo, their first possession, then will start at their own 12-yard line.
Nice job by Jordan. He caught the ball, was able to juke around a little bit, got about 5 yards, I'd say, in total, but now pinned back, this Geneseo offense is going to get to start its first drive.
Greg Rusk, senior quarterback, comes into the huddle, calls the play, and here comes the offensive unit lining up. Jacob Beath back at the starting center position.
Nice to see the senior back in the lineup after that kind of scare of a knee injury.
First play, it's going to be Pitra sweeping to his right. Pitra slips through 2 defenders, out past the 15-yard line to about the 17.
Coach Johnson talked about it. He thinks this game is going to be defensively. Whose defense is better? And Geneseo answered right away, getting a stop early. And now this Sycamore team is going to get to put their own number on it and see if they can get a stop.
Last year's game, Sycamore took away that outside run. And Geneseo really had struggled on the outside getting yardage. But it's good to see Ryan Pitra pick up 6 on that first down play. It's 2nd and 4. Lane Akery starting at fullback, Joey Medina at the other running back position for Geneseo, senior backfield. It's Akery, first carry into the second level. It's a first down run with a senior fullback as he drives it out to the 29-yard line.
He's just so great at that, putting his head down and just driving through. He gets tackled at he gets some hands on him, I should say, about the line of scrimmage, but just keeps going. It takes a lot to bring him down.
Rest of the starters for Geneseo on offense, Nick Anderson at guard, Zach Shefsky. The tackles are Sam Thomas and Jacob Van Dorn. The ends Drew Hillman and Josh Beard. First down play.
Nick Anderson, he was asked to step up, and he's done a great job at stepping up and getting in there in the mix of things.
Toss it to Pitra to the right, and good pursuit by Sycamore as they corral him shy of the 30-yard line.
The great thing about this Geneseo offense is having 3 different backs. A lot of times in this first quarter, as we're ticking down here, again, scoreless with 6:25 left to go in the first quarter, you'll see the Leafs try a lot of different things and just see who's hot and who's not. And usually they'll find the right guy and they'll go with them. A lot of times, every guy has stepped up in different situations. Joey Medina obviously stepping up big last week.
2nd and 9. Medina with 4 touchdowns last week. It's his call now. And Medina fights his way past the 35. He's finally brought down at the 36. Geneseo looking at a 3rd and about 3.
You always wonder, too. Joey was named the Dispatch Argus pace setter. You know, sometimes that stuff can get into your head, but Joey was a great article and everything about him, and getting recognized in the area is always great.
It's always, you know, these guys don't talk about themselves, they talk about the team. It's a team goal, and right now they're moving the ball on Sycamore. We're a little bit more than halfway through the scoreless first quarter, 5:30 to play. 3rd and a short 2 for Geneseo. Akery first down. Still on his feet. They're trying to strip the ball out. Akery says, well, just take 3 or 4 more yards while you're doing that. It's a first down to the Geneseo 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, I would not want to be the defense coordinator on that other sideline right now, because they're able to get to him. They're just not able to bring him down right now is the whole problem. They're getting guys on him. It takes so many to bring him down to the ground.
This drive started at the 12-yard line. Geneseo has it all the way out to their own 46. Himmelman and Beard lined up on the right side. On the wing is Pitra to the left. Second back, it's Medina up the middle, and he stopped for a 2-yard gain.
Nice job right there, right in the middle, able to stop things up. And that's a problem that you could run into right now, because Sycamore, number 4, that Brett Weaver, he was the defensive player of the year for the other side of the conference. And it just showed you how good he is, because, again, they ended up 4th in conference, and the conference still thought enough of him to give him defensive player of the year. He's a really good player right in the middle, and it's hard to get much when you're running inside on him.
6'1", 205. Is Weaver on 2nd down and 9. Fake the counter. Rusk rolls to his left, trying to find somebody open, puts it up, and it is tipped away, and it hits the turf, incomplete.
And there's going to be a flag because Lane Akery was pushed down to the ground. The flag came in whenever they saw Aker. He was pushed all the way down to the ground. I think it's going to have to be pass interference because, again, he was going downfield. We'll see exactly as this officiating crew talks things over, but.
Incomplete pass, stops the clock, 4:14 to play in the first quarter. We're in the stands here on the home side, of course, or visitor side. Not too much room here in these are kind of some small stands, but we're in with the cowbells and all the Green Machine fans.
It was interesting seeing people getting here an hour early. They thought they were going to get a good seat, and it was all filled up on this side. A lot of people standing on the fence, and in the berm over here, there's a lot of room over on the Sycamore side still, but this Geneseo side is full, and it was pass interference. It's going to move the ball way up for Geneseo, not quite enough for a first down, though.
Into Sycamore territory at the 44-yard line, setting up a 2nd down and 1. Geneseo at the line, ready to go, and waiting the officials' whistle here, and the officials call it a timeout.
I feel like that should be an automatic first down. They're trying to decide exactly, but the Geneseo coaching staff is saying that too. It should at least be a replay of first down.
Right.
Because, again, it was a flag on Sycamore for pass interference. The officials aren't sure. They're meeting, talking, trying to figure it out. It says 2nd down on the chains right now.
I think it was 2nd and 8 on that pass. Medina had the 2-yard run, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So 2nd and less than a yard for Geneseo from the Sycamore 44. They'll give it to Akery with a penalty flag thrown by the lines judge on this side.
Akery with the carry.
Not sure. Both guys threw it. Looks like a legal shift is going to be on Geneseo, and we'll move it back 5.
There's a flag.
It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball back to the Geneseo, well, back to the Sycamore 49.
2 guys in motion. That's something you got to cut down on. Not something that we've seen a lot of this season. Geneseo's done a pretty good job with their different plays and getting things down, but they struggle there early.
Russ goes under center behind Jacob Beef with motion by Medina. Handed off to Medina, sweeps to his left, has some blocks. Medina first down, breaks free at the 40. Medina to the 30 and pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line of Sycamore.
Great job by Joey Medina using that left side. He's got a couple blockers out there, blocking out there in front of him. I saw out there Nick Anderson and Drew Himmelman out there getting some hands and helping Joey on the left side.
24-yard run for Joey Medina. Geneseo moving the football here on their opening drive against the Spartan defense. 3:57 to play in the first. No score between Geneseo and Sycamore. Toss sweep. Pitra, right side, turns the corner to the 20, to the 15, down to the 10, and inside the 10 before he goes out of bounds.
They're having a hard time over there in Sycamore on setting that edge. Leafs are able to get outside really easy, and they're able to really get some yardage when they do so far.
Talk about, we've heard Coach Larry Johnson talk about let's get off to a fast start. So key here today for this Geneseo offense. They didn't score last time we played Sycamore, and right now they have it inside the 10, 1st and goal at the 8.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that stays in your mind. Just a year ago, again, 19-0 was that scoring, and there's a familiar name when we're talking about that out there. Ben Neiman was a huge part of that, and his little brother is out there, a junior on this year's team.
First down play, Medina gets the call to the left, trying to find the corner. And the Sycamore defense catches up with him for no gain on the play.
Nice job there, not letting Medina outside. But again, 2nd down and goal now. This team, to be able to stop a Geneseo team like this inside with 2nd down and they only got to go 5 or 6, that's a pretty big feat.
3:30 to play in this first quarter. Geneseo looking at a 2nd and goal from the 8. Josh Beard brings in the play. Football on the left hash. Geneseo will set up with a double wing formation. Himmelman resets on the left side. In motion is Pitra. Give him the football. And Pitra to about the 7. Not much there off the right side.
And come flying in there right there was linebacker number 4, Brett Weaver. He does a good job at just flying to the ball. He's just got a nose for that ball and did a great job at stopping Pitra right at the line of scrimmage. And now this squad's got to get going. 3rd down and 5 yards. This is a big play to set the tone early.
2 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the first. Clock is moving, no score. Geneseo 3rd and 6 at the Sycamore 6. At the line of scrimmage, Rusk will check behind him as Pitra resets to the wing to the left. Rusk to roll, looks to the end zone, puts it up, caught, touchdown! Ryan Pitra, and Geneseo scores with 2:17 to play in the first. 10th caller to La Roma Pizza. You win a free large 2-topping pizza. Live listeners only. 1 winner per season. Must redeem within 1 week. La Roma Pizza 944-6171.
When's the last time that Geneseo's had to go 6 yards? 3rd down, they decide to go in the air. That's what makes this team so great, though, is they got such a ground attack, and then when they really need it, they can go to the air. And what a play that was. Pitra, he's done a great job at being able to bring the ball in this year.
Ryan Ganson to attempt the extra point. He's hit 92% this season. And this is on its way. It's good. 7-0 Geneseo as they score on their first possession, going almost the length of the field here. 88-yard drive.
They had a real hard time to Sycamore to be able to stop much. Really, we saw their defense get going when we got inside the red zone right there. They had a couple of good hits on the Leafs running backs, but they struggled for the most part in that series at being able to stop the run game.
Mentioned 88-yard drive for Geneseo. Took 12 plays, 4 minutes and 29 seconds. A 6-yard touchdown pass from Greg Rusk to Ryan Pitra on 3rd down. Ganson with the extra point. Rusk with 10 touchdown passes this season, and for Ryan Pitra, he's caught 4 of them.
Yeah, Ryan's kind of been a guy that he's able to run the ball, but yet you can look for him down the field. He's been another threat because of Drew Himmelman, obviously, with this huge frame. He has defended heavily. He's got guys on him a lot of times, and that kind of is a nice way for some of these other guys to wake up and be able to make a play.
To restart the game, Ryan Ganson, Geneseo 7, Sycamore 0, 2:17 on the clock here in the first quarter. So Ganson can get a little bit more of this football this time, send it downfield. Drives it inside the 15 to the 10, brought back out to the 25, and stops shy of the 30-yard line as the special teams gets down there and makes the tackle.
Now this defense gets to come back out again, and one thing that we really liked was up front, the Leafs were just going at it. They really got that full crew back in it, the crew that we had some injuries in that, but now you got Yarger in there, you got Grant Pritchard, Lane Acree, Drew Himmelman. Those guys have done a great job up front, and it really helps out. I know I've talked to some of those linebackers, Jacob Beath and Scott, and they love having those big guys up there. They eat up the blocks, and it makes those linebackers be able to just play and just go.
Second down, or first down play here. Bemis, his first run. The quarterback tries taking up the middle, but Lane Acree is in on the tackle, along with Will Daniels, who closes down.
Yeah, and look for Bemis to think that he can run the ball. He had over 100, or close to 100 yards rushing, 100 yards passing, so he thinks he can really move around, but now it's the time for this Geneseo defense to stop him up early.
He's 6'5", so it doesn't take him, too many strides to get 3 or 4 yards. He got 3 on that play when it looked like it was really nothing, but it's 2nd down and 7.
What a job he's done, though, because, again, his running back last week really struggled, wasn't able to move the ball, really just put all the pressure on his own shoulders and rushed for 98 yards, passed for over 100. He's a good player in the backfield.
2nd down, fake it to Hooker, and Bemis is hit right at the 35-yard line. Looked like he didn't really want to take that hit. But Geneseo able to stop them short of the first down, setting up a 3rd down and 3.
You said it's cold out here. It does. Those hits are felt that much more when it is colder. And some of these guys, but this Geneseo defense looks to be raring. They're ready. They're ready to hit somebody out here. And this is a big 3rd down play for this Geneseo defense.
Sycamore's converted 2 out of 3. Geneseo stopping them around the 40-yard line on their first drive here in this first quarter as we go under 50 seconds to play in this first period. 3rd and 4 from the Sycamore 35. Shotgun, snap it back, and the pass is caught by Covert on this Geneseo sideline. Daniels there on coverage, almost knocked it down.
And I don't know how much better you could have played that. Will Daniels was right there, had his hand in it. It was a fantastic ball thrown to the outside towards the sideline. It's exactly the perfect placement right there, and it was a great job by Daniels, but even a better throw.
Sycamore converts a 3rd down. They keep possession of the ball out to the 42-yard line of the Spartans as they come out of the huddle, which looks like will be the last play of this first quarter. Spread formation, Hooker in motion. Give him the football to the left. Hooker slips, trying to cut it back, and Akery's there to bring him down.
Akery's done a good job. He didn't get to see a lot of playing time here on defense these last 2 games, and you see the fist pump. This Geneseo defense is happy with the way they played in the first quarter.
End of the first, it's Geneseo 7, Sycamore 0.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Village Home Stores, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
We begin the second quarter from Sycamore with Zach Mackey. I'm Lauren Lemke. It's Geneseo 7, Sycamore 0. Geneseo scoring on their first possession in this game, a Ryan Pitra touchdown reception. And the Spartans have the football back, looking at a 2nd down and 10.
And I think it was just the quarter that Geneseo wanted. They were able to get a stop early defensively and able to take the ball 80 yards, play their offense, able to run the ball. They ended it with a pass, but able to find the end zone, and now they got it second and long here.
Sycamore moving from our right to left. And Bemis has stood up and pushed back. Stopped at the 45-yard line of Sycamore. As Geneseo comes off the pile.
And it seems like Sycamore is kind of going back to the same thing that worked for them last week. You know, Hooker wasn't able to run the ball very well, so they just fed Bemis and just kept feeding him, and now Hooker hasn't been able to run the ball very much, so they're going back to that. They're running quarterback, and that hasn't worked all that much for Sycamore either. Now they're going to maybe try the air here, so they spread things all out.
Trips receivers to the left. They send one back in motion to the right. On 3rd down and 6, Bemis looking to his right, gets the ball out quickly, and it's caught on the Sycamore sideline. They needed 6, and it's going to be really close here. They might bring the chains in. They're trying to eye it up here across the field as they put the football on the far sideline.
What a catch it was, too. He got his feet in, diving out of bounds. He had to extend his body. It was a fantastic play by the receiver there, and they're going to bring the chains out.
Second time we'll get the chain gang involved here. But they did this last week against St. Viator, the little short 6-8 yard pass play, you know, to the sideline, and It's worked a few times already in this game, but tight coverage by Geneseo again.
Yeah, it's hard to defend those little 6-yard plays. You know, you don't want to get beat deep, so you're worried about that, and it's going to be a first down for Sycamore. They get first down now, but you're worried about getting beat, and you don't want to press them too hard. But you know, 6 yards, 5 yards, that's a hard play to ask a defender on the outside to make.
Yeah, because you press too hard, then they give you the double move, and then they give up a big play. So it is a first down for the Spartans. They have it at the Geneseo 48, 11:02 to play before halftime. We're in the second period. Geneseo 7, Sycamore 0 in this Class 5A quarterfinal game. Winner moves on to the semifinals next Saturday.
Every time Sycamore has got a first down, though, it's been really close. The officials have been eyeing it. It's not like they're really getting big plays against the Leafs. They've been kind of 3 yards, 4 yards, but that's all it takes.
Sycamore at the line. They shift around. Geneseo's in a matchup defensively here as they move personnel. Bemis to throw in the pocket. Flush from the pocket. Eludes a tackle in the backfield. And now he's hit as he goes across the line of scrimmage to the Geneseo 47.
Seems like every time one of these quarterbacks drop back, somehow Jacob Yarker is just diving for him, just almost getting him, just out of his reach there, but able to be brought down. Just a gain of 2 by Himmelman on the side.
Good coverage in the secondary for Geneseo. Bemis didn't have anyone open and almost got sacked. Second down and 8. 10 minutes to play in the second. 7-0 Green Machine from Sycamore. Geneseo with that 4-man front. Grant Pritchard at nose.
It's worked so well so far.
Hooker up the middle, has a seam as he slips through the line of scrimmage and falls forward to the Geneseo 40-yard line. 3rd down and 2.
These linebackers for Geneseo, they like to just go, and right there you head down. He missed the guy coming through, and Hooker was able to get to that secondary, and that's why you got to gain a 5 or 6 there.
Geneseo looking, stopping Sycamore here. They need 2 yards for their first down. Sycamore's been making the 3rd down plays here. Well, Geneseo's kept them off the scoreboard. It seems like they need 6 yards, they get 6 yards. They need 2 here. Let's see if the Geneseo defense can get in the backfield and disrupt things. Getting movement here for Sycamore as they reshift, and I think they took it too much time. Their coach didn't like it, and so head coach Joe Ryan's going to call a timeout for Sycamore and stop the clock with the 6:59 to play, or 8:59 to play in the second quarter. 7-0 Geneseo.
Sycamore starting to kind of find themselves a little bit. They're moving the ball a little bit, nothing too much, no big plays down the field, but they're moving it a little bit. And, you know, back on the other side, when we talk about Geneseo offense too, we got to talk about, you know, pretty impressed with this Sycamore defense too. Last week against St. Viator, they let up 14 points, I believe, and one of those was a special team, and the other one was a big 80-yard pass play. When we look back at that, throughout the regular season, they let up quite a bit of points, but they were a 5-4 team coming in with 55 playoff points. I mean, the schedule they played is absolutely amazing when you look at it. Again, the Leafs, just to give you a perspective, at 36 playoff points, and yeah, this Sycamore team played some really good teams throughout the year.
Defensively, I think they're ranked number 11th in the 5A field when the playoffs were set up, and Geneseo, of course, had the number 1 defense. They've given up some points here the last couple of weeks. You know, the 16 points last week was not against the first team, so can't really buy into that too much as far as you know, the overall points per game.
To be in the quarterfinals, letting up 8.6 is a very good feat for this Geneseo squad.
Critical 3rd and 2. Hooker trying to pick it up. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage, pushed back, and he's not going to get the first down. Jacob Yarger was right there to plug things up, and then he got some help.
It was so funny. He tried to run behind his player, and Yarger didn't even budge. He bounced off his own player, did Hooker, and back another 5 yards he went.
Jordan Shanowski out of the cornerback position came up and wrapped up Hooker and drove him back. It's 4th down in about a yard. Looks like we're going to see the punt team come in for Sycamore. Geneseo is not dropping anybody back at this point. They want to make sure that they do punt the football.
Yeah, this 4th down is bigger than any punt return, but they are going to drop. They're going to drop Haxby back now.
Couvert, the punter for Sycamore, standing at midfield. The left footer sends it down to Haxby, who gets away, and Geneseo's going to start at the 10-yard line. They started at the 12 in the first quarter, went 88 yards and put points on the board. They get the football back, leading 7-0.
Get to make a statement now. You put it in the end zone last time, and now you've stopped Sycamore's offense twice, and now you get to go again, get another shot at it now. This offensive line, we talked about them last week. They were so great, and the officials stopping the ball for an official timeout here, but they were so great up front. They were just able to manhandle that Rich East front, and this week they've gone with those same guys. This was a group that I can remember in our week 1 broadcast, we kind of said it was a question mark. We didn't really know, but these guys have really came through, and they've just done a fantastic job up front.
First down play, toss it. Pitra coming to his left. Pitra's got room to run along the Sycamore sideline all the way out to the 25-yard line, and that's a 15-yard run for Pitra and a first down for Geneseo.
A different approach here for Geneseo. They're just able to pound outside. They're able to get outside that end, and it's been Pitra one side, Medina the other side. And you don't see haven't been running up the middle very much because, again, they got that defensive player of the year for the other side of the conference, middle linebacker who was so great in Brent Weaver, sorry.
Ball at the 25-yard line. First down play. Medina hitting the backfield, slips through a defender, and still on his feet. He's twisted his way through. Nice spin move there by Joey. Looked like he was going to be stopped for no gain or a loss, and he has the football out close to the 40 or close to the 35-yard line.
Joey's kind of one of those slippery running backs we talk about. He's just so hard to bring down. He slips off tackles here or there, spins around, and he's able to get so many yards after contact.
7-yard run for Medina. All these running backs for Geneseo over 1,000 career yards rushing, and they all have double-digit touchdowns, and that's been the key here for Geneseo, that balanced running attack. Long toss to Medina. He had to reach out to grab that football, and looks like he has a Geneseo first down as he gets it over the 35 to about the 36.
You talked about them having that running attack, and this offense with those 3 running backs is one of the best Geneseo offenses we've seen in a very long time. They're able to use those 3 running backs to their advantage, but yet they still got a pass threat down the field, and they got a couple of guys that they can look to downfield.
Reset the chains, 1st and 10, 7:40 to play before halftime. Geneseo has it at their own 37-yard line, first down. Lane Akery gets the ball, hit at the line, tries to spin his way out of it, but nowhere to go. Setting up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, nothing for Akery there. He tried to go right off center there, right behind his guard, and just a lot of Sycamore Spartans right in the area.
Give it to Akery. Got to keep that defense honest in the middle. Well, Geneseo's been doing it on the outside. That's great to see with Medina and Pitra getting to the edge this afternoon. Himlin splits out wide left. Pitra sweep play to the right. Not much there as they ran to the short side of the field. And Pitra being helped up.
We're hoping there wasn't a flag on the play. It's kind of in the area of a hold almost, but it's going to be a chop block. It's what they're going to call on Sycamore, it appears. Oh no, on Geneseo. They're going to call a chop block below the waist downfield.
We saw that last week. We didn't have a chop block on the defense, and we don't usually see that. So this is a penalty against Geneseo.
Something that these officials maybe were told to watch for whenever they get called to do a playoff game. There's always some points of emphasis by the IHSA, and that could have been one of them.
But, well, they're trying to mark this off. I'm not sure if they're marking it from the spot of the foul or they put the football down at the 40-yard line.
The problem is Sycamore hasn't accepted or declined it yet. They started moving the ball back.
Okay.
Yeah, they declined it.
Okay. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Geneseo. They have the ball at the 40-yard line.
That just tells you how much they fear this Geneseo offense. They'll rather take it down than move the ball back 10 yards.
Beard is split out to the left-hand side. Russ to throw, high pass intercepted. Return to the 30, down to the 20. The 10, and a touchdown for Matt Kubert. who picks off Greg Rusk and returns it almost 50 yards for a touchdown.
That was a hard play for Greg. He had a defender right in him. He had to kind of go overarm throw it and trying to get it right into the hands of his defender running on the left side, but it was perfect placement for the Spartan.
Only the second interception thrown by Rusk this year, and it's a return for a touchdown.
Yeah. He's really been great back there behind center this year, Greg. He had to step up. Junior year, he kind of saw, he was watching Luke Snyder, a good quarterback from the sidelines, and this year now he stepped up and gotten right into it. But you got to love the guys too. Greg, you know, through that interception, not happy with himself, but you saw him sprinting back there, trying to get the tackle as best he could.
To tie the game, the extra point by Tyler Mavis is good. And it's 7-7. Sycamore and Geneseo tied up after an interception returned for a touchdown by Sycamore.
We knew the Sycamore team was going to bring it, and the Leafs were ready. We got a ball game on our hands, as you said, 7-7.
Geneseo will get the football back with 6:34 to play before halftime. They've been moving the ball against the Spartan defense, and Geneseo will have the football to start the third quarter. So let's go on about a 6-minute drive here and get some points.
Well, and nothing to get too worried about because, like you said, Sycamore only able to score on an interception. Geneseo's been moving the ball fine. They've been stopping them. It's really been Geneseo's game, except that one mistake.
Geneseo has started from the 12 and 10-yard line this afternoon. Hopefully we can get this out to about the 25 or 30 as we await the kickoff from Sycamore.
Devin Haxby and Joey Medina are back.
Devin Haxby, Joey Medina standing at around the 10-yard line.
Spartan fans.
I think we've got Sycamore outnumbered here as far as fans. We've got fans standing behind us on the hill, along the fence.
There's a lot of fans at this game. Geneseo travels well. I would say better than the Spartan fans. For sure, a town that when we're coming in, 17,000.
Good kick here. We come down to Haxby at the 8. Haxby to his right, cuts it back to the 25, looking for some room to the 30. And stopped right there. Actually at the 29.
And look for the Leafs to take advantage of special teams best they can. Sycamore, they let up a touchdown on a kickoff return to St. Viator, and that was 1 of 2 of St. Viator's touchdowns. So they've struggled a little bit on the special teams side, and something that Geneseo's been so dominant at. They haven't had very many problems on their special teams throughout this year.
Starting from their own 29-yard line. Akery with the call and a whistle to stop the play. Another penalty flag here. Geneseo's been seeing a few of those here in today's game. And it's going to go against the Green Machine.
Looked like that left side of the line was a little slow to get off the ball. It looked a little bit malfunctioned whenever they snapped it.
Got to start making some plays here for Geneseo, get that momentum back. And they start here 1st and 15 after a 5-yard penalty, football back to the 23-yard line.
And the way they've been able to pound at this Sycamore defense and just keep going 5 yards, that can get the momentum back to you quickly if you're just able to move the ball as easily as Geneseo's been.
Pitcher off the wing gets the football to his right, and there's Sycamore's defense to find him for no gain on the play. It's going to be a loss of 1.
And look who it is right in the area. We talk about, again, Brent Weaver. He did a good job from the, he was in the middle linebacker, able to sprint outside and stop that play. That's where this Sycamore team, though, they're good at making adjustments. They've seen that Geneseo's been able to work things on the outside. Now they're gonna make you find something else. What else can you do now?
Halfway through the second quarter, 7-7. We're all tied up. Geneseo and Sycamore, 2nd down and 18 for the Green Machine. Medina in motion. He'll try sweeping to the left. And Sycamore getting into the backfield. Medina cuts it back. Made something out of nothing there, and it's going to still set up a 3rd and long for Geneseo.
He really did. He had a lot of contact on the left side of the line. He was able to kind of get about 2 or 3 yards, but now this is a play where you answer back. You might see the Leafs go to the air. You might see a little, again, try to get it outside. Something they need a big play here to to be able to get this long third and 15.
Not much wind here, maybe about a 5-mile-per-hour wind blowing across the field. It's not going to affect the passing game here. On 3rd and long. Rusk rolls right, looks to the flats. He's got pressure and he's got to throw it away. And it is incomplete.
He's out of the tackle box, so there shouldn't be any no intentional grounding, as Spartans were kind of signaling a little bit. But they're going to have to punt it away now, and now this defense is going to have to come out again and make a big play. Tied up at 7s. We knew it was going to be a ball game, and Leafs got to come ready to go. That wasn't their best offensive series, but now they get to come back and play stout-nosed defense.
Brett Weaver came in on the blitz there for Sycamore, so they're going to try to get him to the football as much as they can.
Such a good player. Again, he's a great player back there in the middle of the defense.
Russ the punt, averaging 32 yards a kick. This one's high and does not take a Geneseo bounce. It rolls backwards, hits at the Geneseo 45, and it's going to be stopped at about the 39. So a change of field position there for Sycamore.
Not what the Leafs were looking for either on that punt, about a net of about 15 yards or so. So very good field position now for Sycamore, and Geneseo gets to flex their muscles now on defense.
At the 39-yard line of Geneseo, that's where Sycamore will start. They've converted some third downs, but Geneseo's been able to get them off the field. They've punted twice already today in their 2 possessions. 7-7 all, tied up. Bemis in the shotgun. He'll hand it to Hooker. He's hit by Grant Pritchard after bounces off Jake Yarger, who redirected him right into Pritchard.
Great job by Grant, right in the middle. He's able to, even if he's not chasing after that quarterback, he stays stout in his gap, just like he's supposed to, and able to go off whenever the running back's coming his way.
Clock is running, 4 minutes, 20 seconds to play before halftime. Game tied at 7, 2nd down and 10. Coming up for the Spartans as they send 3 receivers out wide right. Daniels over there along with Cooper Humphreys, who's back in the lineup for Geneseo. Bemis looks to his right with pressure. Himmelman puts his arms up. Is it intercepted? It is. Geneseo comes up with it, and it's Cooper Humphreys.
Cooper Humphreys making himself known. He had to sit out last week, but now he's back, coming up with an interception at a key part in this ball game.
Cooper Humphreys on the season. That is his 2nd interception, and for the team, that's number 14. And the turnover game now is tied up at 1 apiece as well.
So the Leafs needed a little spark, and here we go now. Let's get this offense going.
They'll start from their own 37-yard line with time to go here, 3 minutes and 49 seconds before halftime. Medina in motion. Takes the handoff from Rusk, and he's driven out of bounds on the Sycamore sideline. They're starting to get to the outside runs here and slowing us down.
Yeah, they are. They're able to, they've kind of stopped the outside runs, and that's where you got Coach Derricks up there, the offensive coordinator. He does a great job at finding something new now, and it takes some time, feeling out this Sycamore defense, and it's something that they'll definitely do at halftime and talk over a lot. And Geneseo coaching staff always does great at coming out at halftime, having new adjustments in that. But right now, in game, it'd be huge to be able to move the ball.
Clock stop, 3:55. They pitch it wide to Lane Acree. Acree twists his way to the Geneseo 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Green Machine offense.
Lane Acree with a carry. He was tripped up by Nick Neiman.
See what offensive coordinator Danny Derricks calls here. Have not been able to get the ball to Drew Himmelman in the passing game today.
And it kind of scares you sometimes, when the passing game has been so good, and then you have a malfunction where you throw a pick 6, but it looks like here Greg Russ just got to have confidence to go back in and throw that ball.
Low snap, Russ picks it up, goes up to Himmelman high with double coverage. Himmelman hit as he tries to catch the football, and it's jarred loose, incomplete.
Give credit, though, again, like I said, to Greg Russ, able to have the confidence to throw that ball up. Sometimes it's scary after you just threw that pick 6, but again, a lot of these teams, they key on Drew now. They key on Drew Himmelman, and he had 2 guys all over him. As soon as that ball was in the air, he was getting hit. They were going after the ball, so he's got to have to be able to throw to him is always difficult. That's where Ryan Pitcher and those other guys open up.
Geneseo only had the football for a minute there in 3 plays. Good punt here by Rusk. And it's fumbled, picked up by Geneseo. Joey Medina comes up with it at the Sycamore 25. Bounced off number 8, Bryce Hansen, right into the lap of Joey Medina.
We talk about in these playoff games, you just got to have some things go your way. And right there, that's a momentum boost, and that's something that just went in the Leafs' favor. Now they lead the turnover battle, and they get great field position now. They got 3 minutes. Now they got to go. They've been stopped twice by this Sycamore defense. Now it's their time to move the ball up front. These big boys got to get going.
Geneseo will hand it off to Pitra. He's running hard, dives down to the 20-yard line. So how about this scenario? Geneseo throws the interception. They return it for a touchdown. Sycamore hasn't had too many plays since then. What, maybe 2 plays offensively? Geneseo's touched it here again for the 3rd time.
They really have. They've ate up the clock, even not having long possessions. But like you said, they keep getting the ball back on turnovers and different things.
2nd down and 5 from the 20-yard line of Sycamore. Acree, right side, he's got room to run, and a nice tackle made there by the secondary of Sycamore. Colin Tremmel comes up with the solo tackle.
He went real low on Lane Acree, just like you got to be able to bring him down, tackle him down at the knees, and was able to bring him down. 3rd down, about 3 yards to go, and yep, as we look over, Ryan Hansen, he's getting his tee out. He's don't know exactly where his official spot is that he could go from, but he's kicking some into the net now.
3rd down, 3. Official comes in, blows the whistle. Geneseo's going to take a timeout and talk about this one. Stops the clock with exactly 2 minutes to play before halftime. We're tied 7-7. Geneseo's score comes on their first drive today. Ryan Pitra with a touchdown reception, and Sycamore's touchdown on the defensive play as they returned an interception for a score. That's where we stand.
3rd down and 3 yards to go. We're at about the 20. So again, if Ganson was called to kick, it'd be a 37-yard field goal. It'd be a pretty long field goal, but again, he's got a lot of leg in him, so not something that we would definitely put past him. He definitely has a lot of leg in him, but it'd be nice to get this 3 yards and then get this offense going and be able to put it in the end zone again like they did in their first series.
You know, if Ganson does come in, I mean, he's 3 of 6 on the season with field goals. His longest is a 44. He's 1 for 4 from the 30 to 39-yard range, and
yeah, that's crazy. 44 yards. He can definitely go 37 then.
Well, let's pick this 1st down up and not have to worry about that. Geneseo's ready to go. They're at the line of scrimmage from the Sycamore 19. 3rd down and 3. Medina on the wing to the right. Pitra to the left on the wing. It's Medina in motion. Sweep to the left. Trying to find an opening. He's got it. He cuts it up. He finds the seam and has a Geneseo 1st down to the 10-yard line.
It looked like he was so outnumbered out there. He somehow found a seam to just slip right on through about 2 or 3 defenders. It looked like it was going to be a loss on the play, and he just slid right on through. 1st and goal now.
Alex Disher and Greg Russ come in to the Geneseo huddle with this play. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Football right at that stripe. With Disher out to the right side, Medina lines up to the wing to the right. 1:37 to play before half. Acree to the left. Submarined, and he's taken down at the 5. Geneseo with 2 timeouts left. Plenty of time here with under 1:30 to play before halftime. They have it at the Sycamore 5-yard line. 2nd down coming up.
Geneseo also going to get the ball coming out of halftime, so another instinct for this offense to go. But again, as you said, clock going, 1:13 to go now. 2nd down, and they got to go about 4 yards.
Ryan Hartsock, number 80, lines up at the tight end position to the right next to Jacob Van Doren. Tight formation here. Acree. Not much there off the left tackle behind Sam Thomas. And it's going to set up a 3rd down. Actually got a little bit closer than we thought. 3rd and 2.
I'd say so. About 2 yards to go now. This is a play for those big guys up front. This offensive line that we've been giving credit to, this is a big time for them.
Geneseo will snap the football with less than 30 seconds to play before halftime. 3rd and goal from the Sycamore 2 in a tied game, 7 apiece. Russ checking, make sure everybody's set. And Sycamore showing blitz. I think they jumped off sides as Brett Weaver, who's been all over the place here for Sycamore, I think stepped over the line of scrimmage in the neutral zone. That'll move it half the distance.
The referee pointed the wrong way, but they moved the ball the right way. The Geneseo fans were like, what is happening here? But again, the ball was moved back a yard. Referee pointed the wrong way.
Geneseo with the clock stopped at 20 seconds on that penalty. Still will call a timeout, and just want to talk about this and make sure everybody's got it down. This is a huge play in this game. We're tied up, trying to get a touchdown from the looks to be about the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and it's really hard to bet against this Geneseo team to go 1 yard. 1 yard with look for him to. I would guess maybe you can go fullback, you know, right up the middle lane anchor. It's hard to stop him for a yard. Although, again, throw him for a loop, and you know the first touchdown game came with about a 5-yard pass or something. So there's definitely a lot of different attacks, and that's what makes this offense so great.
And we might see the quarterback sneak here. I mean, Rusk he's got 1 touchdown rushing this season, but I mean, is this where you just kind of pinch inside and try to push your way in and get the score? You've got, I think, 1 more timeout left. Yeah. You can get back, get a timeout after this.
And with you got your senior back under center, Jacob Beath. You could run behind him, like you said, with that quarterback sneak, and then if you're not able to get in here, it's a big call. Do you kick it, fourth and whatever, or do you go for it again? That's a big call, but hopefully the Leafs can put it in here and not have to worry about it.
First down, or 3rd and goal. It's Lane Acree touchdown run off the right-hand side. Geneseo takes the lead 13-7. 10th caller to La Roma Pizza. Every time Geneseo scores a touchdown, you win a free large 2-topping pizza. Live listeners only, 1 winner per season, must redeem within 1 week. La Roma Pizza 944-6171.
There we saw the opening over the tackle. They brought everyone in the middle and just tried to go at it right over the middle, and it opened up right off. Sam Thomas was able to run Lane Acree.
13-7 Geneseo with Ryan Ganson's extra point coming up here. Snap is back. Will Daniels is the holder today, and this one is no good. He missed it to the left, and so the score remains 13-7 Geneseo. So Geneseo able to take advantage of that turnover by Sycamore, and they fumbled the punt return, and Joey Medina was there to come up with the football to 25 and scoring on 3rd down. 2 3rd down touchdowns today for Geneseo. They lead it by 6 with 17.8 seconds to play before halftime.
That was a huge score, as you said, but a huge point after touchdown. Those are one of those little things that can come back and hurt you. And we've had a couple of struggles with point after touchdowns here and there, but now you just got to hope that doesn't even come into play if this defense can play stout here. 17 seconds. We'll see if Sycamore even tries to go at it. We could see a kneel, and they just want to get out of this half.
They have not done anything offensively today against the Geneseo defense. So we're ready to get things going again here with Ryan Ganson. Puts the ball at on the tee at the 40-yard line.
Ryan Ganson to kick off for Geneseo.
Short scoring drive there for Geneseo. It only covered 26 yards, 6 plays, 1:56, and a 1-yard run by Lane Acree. End over end kick, fielded at the 15, trying to come up the middle. Has a seam, out to the 25, 35, stopped at the 40.
And there's a flag back by the official, and it looks like it could be on the Leafs. Justin Scott was kind of talking to the official, trying to figure out exactly what it is. We'll see when we get the call.
Kind of odd to have a penalty on your kick return team.
Yeah.
On the kickoff team, I mean. Official puts the flag back in his pocket, and they're marking it off against Sycamore.
Oh, it is. Okay, blocking the back on Sycamore, so they will move him back even farther, and we could just see him need the ball. As you said, they've struggled turning over the ball. They've struggled a lot offensively. I don't know if they want to risk it here with 12 seconds and so close to the Geneseo end zone.
Sycamore will come up to the line of scrimmage. And their quarterback is in shotgun formation. I thought he'd probably just go into center. But he's back 5 yards at the 5-yard line. Takes the snap, they'll run it, ball is fumbled, Geneseo falls on it at the 7-yard line. Geneseo says they have the football, and they do. 7.6 seconds left. Time enough to get a field goal.
At least a field goal for sure, and I believe the Leafs even have one timeout. If they're not able, they got one shot here to put it in the end zone. If they're not able to, they got a timeout to go with.
Lane Akery with the fumble recovery for the Green Machine defense. 3 turnovers in this first half by Sycamore. They're going to go for it. One timeout left?
Yeah, one timeout left. So if this doesn't go in, you can call the timeout and kick the field goal.
Rusk in the gun. Pistol formation and a penalty flag thrown before the snap.
Going to be on the defense.
Offsides as their cornerback lined up offsides against Drew Himmelman.
Things are not going good for the Sycamore team going into half.
They took a second and a half off the clock, and they need to reset this clock to 7.6 seconds.
And again, the referee walked the ball the wrong way. He walked it against the Leafs, and now he's walking it back against Sycamore. And they're going to have to reset this clock. As you said, the official going over to get on some headsets to tell him up there.
It's no secret, I think, what Geneseo was trying to do, throw the ball to Drew Himmelman there.
It looked like, and now he's going to get double teamed over in the corner. So, but it looks like they'll say with that same play, you can just throw it up, and the Leafs tried it a lot last year, tried to kind of do a little bit of fade, and we're trying to get this clock set back up to 7 seconds. I believe it was 7.8, was it?
7.6 maybe?
7.6. It's at 6.1 right now.
There we go.
There.
Football on the right hash at the Sycamore 4-yard line. Rusk in the pocket, throws to the end zone. Himmelman going up high to grab it.
There
Touchdown! Touchdown, Green Machine. Now they said he knocked it out. No touchdown. Trying to bring it down, and he got it stripped.
It looked like he had it all the way in. One of those times that he extends his body like he's done so well in the end zone and been able to bring it in. That time it won't go, but nevertheless, now the Leafs are going to get a shot to kick it.
This will amount to basically an extra point try for Ganson for the distance. Will Daniels is going to take a knee at around the 12-yard line, 11-yard line, 21-yard field goal attempt, with 2.8 seconds to play before halftime. Kick is on its way, and it's blocked and picked up. And Will Daniels makes a tackle before it's returned much farther.
You can't give enough credit right there to Will Daniels. Smart play right there to tackle the defender there, and a missed opportunity for the Leafs.
Nonetheless, Geneseo has the lead, 13-7 at halftime.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Village Home Stores, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
Time to start the second half of football from Sycamore. Geneseo leading the Sycamore Spartans 13-7 in this Class 5A quarterfinal game. Geneseo will start with the football in this third quarter as the team's Geneseo runs a few more plays here to warm up, but dominating first half for Geneseo, 143 total yards compared to 54 for Sycamore. A couple things didn't go our way towards the end of the first half with that blocked field goal and the missed extra point too. Again, we just hope the kicking game doesn't come back and haunt us here in this second half of play. Got to get some touchdowns and get this back to a 2-score lead.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it. Sometimes you get all this momentum. You got the big stop, you got the turnover, but then you weren't able to capitalize. But nevertheless, nothing hurt you there. You didn't give up any points. So now's your time right now as this kick return squad goes out there to make a statement now.
Geneseo will be moving right to left as Joey Medina and Devin Haxby are back, standing around the 5-yard line to return this kick. Medina came up with a fumble recovery off a punt return for Sycamore, led to the second touchdown for Geneseo in the second quarter. Ready to go. Kick is on its way. High end over end kick, fielded by Connor Welch at the 18. Welch brings it out to the 30-yard line, stopped at the 35.
Connor does a great job at seeing that ball. He's going to be one of those guys with the ball in his hands a lot next year and getting some experience now. We talk about the experience that these seniors have because of that deep playoff run last year that they were able to be a part of. And now even just as long as you keep making these runs, now these sophomores and even some freshmen brought up are getting this same playoff run, the same relevant playoff experience.
Starting from their own 36-yard line, Ryan Pitra takes the handoff, tries to get outside the right end. Not much there. We'll give him 2 yards on the play, make it 2nd down and 8. Balanced running attack in that first half. Medina with 9 carries. Pitra and Acree had 8 apiece. And Medina led the way with 55 yards, Pitra 50 and 34 for Acree.
Yeah, and a lot of times now this second half, this is when we'll see one of those guys really step up and really make that next step. We'll see him maybe ride on. It was Joey Medina last week. We'll see who it is this week.
It's Pitra again, right side, has blocks. Pitra loose, has a first down across the 50 to the Sycamore 47-yard line. Hard running there by Ryan Pitra.
That was something that wasn't working in the second quarter, was the outside edge. We weren't able to get outside, and right there, Ryan Pitra able to get around that Sycamore defender and cruise along 10, 15 yards.
Football just over the midfield stripe. Josh Beard splits to the left. With the double wing formation to start it, Medina comes off the wing to the Sycamore 48, 2nd down and 8.
Great job with the Sycamore defense there. They were just waiting for that second back through, read it perfectly and knew that second guy through was going to have the ball, and it was Medina was met right at the line of scrimmage.
Starting line for Geneseo again, the center, Jacob Beath, he's a senior. Nick Anderson, a junior at guard. Zach Shefsky started all year at that other guard position. He's a senior. Jacob Van Doren, a junior, and Sam Thomas, left tackle, a sophomore. 2nd and 8. Lane Acree takes the handoff. Nothing up the middle, bounced it out to the outside. Thought he had something there, but the secondary comes up and makes the stop. It'll be 3rd and 7. Third downs have been critical here.
It really has. It's one of these games that it seems like the third down play is going to win or lose it for you. It's been a lot of long 3rd and longs, 3rd and 7s, and right now this is a big 3rd down play here coming out of the half.
All the scores today have been on 3rd down. Geneseo scoring their 2 touchdowns on 3rd down, and Sycamore did as well on an interception. Medina counter play. Whoa, he's hit hard up high and driven back, and well short of the first down.
Jacob Van Doren, the tackle, came running right on through, and he had about 3 guys. He had to pick one, and the other 2 were able to pick up the running back coming through. Sometimes those counters work, and sometimes they don't. They haven't been, Sycamore, a very disciplined team compared to some of the teams the Leafs have seen, so they're able to stay back and stay stout there. Leafs are going to have to punt it away.
And the wind picking up here, too, with Greg Russ coming in. This will be his 3rd punt today. Greg puts it up high. Fair catch called. And Devin Haxby is going to down it inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line. So Sycamore just 54 yards in offense in that first half. Their only touchdown a defensive score, so they have not done much against this Geneseo defense.
They really haven't. They've struggled putting the ball down on the ground, 24 yards that way, and passing hasn't been much for them either. They've had a couple of little six-yard plays, but they really got 2 running backs, and that Hooker and their running back, and their quarterback, correctly, and neither have been able to run that well.
Bemis 3 of 7 passing in that first half, and Hooker only had 19 yards running. 9:05 to play in the third. Bemis nowhere to go as he tried throwing the ball. He's going to be sacked back at the 14. Himmelman got his hands up as he was trying to throw the ball, and then he didn't know what his second choice was.
Yeah, Bemis right there. He looked to his right, and Drew jumped up, both hands in the air. Huge target he was, and Bemis decided to keep it, and he was going to run, but he had defenders all over him.
Second sack of the day for the Geneseo defense as they put Sycamore in a hole again. Second down and 14. They converted some long third downs in that first half, Zach, but Geneseo's been able to take them off the field here.
Yeah, and when they needed the big third down play, they went to the air.
2 receivers split wide to the left side. Bemis, his pass is going to be completed on the wide receiver screen to Covert, and Covert is out for a first down for Sycamore to the 40-yard or 30-yard line.
I talked about it, that screen. That's a big play for them, and right there, it was a first down when they need it. Sometimes you go to your bread and butter, and that's something that has worked for them throughout the season.
There was a gain of 16.
16-yard pass play makes it 1st and 10 at the Sycamore 30-yard line. 8:07 to play in the third quarter. It's Geneseo 13, Sycamore 7.
Going to spread it all out again. Maybe they're going to just try the air. They didn't have much luck on the ground in the first half.
Bemis, inside screen and off the hands, incomplete of Colin Tremmel. And Ryan Pitra, if he doesn't get screened out of the way there, he may have come up with an interception.
Yeah, they had that receiver out in the far slot, out in the closest slot, and they just had him run towards the middle of the field. It would have been about a 5-yard pickup if he was able to bring the ball in, but they're just going for the short little attack. They want to get you here and there, 5 yards, and see if he can break something, because again, on the ground, they've had no luck in the first half.
Yeah, 24 rushing yards for Sycamore in that first half on about 12 carries. They've kind of abandoned the running game coming out here in this third quarter. They'll throw again, try that bubble screen, and Geneseo's all over it. Jordan Shanowski wraps up the receiver as he caught the ball at the 30-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 8.
Just like a bullet there with Shanowski. As soon as he saw that receiver drop him back and he saw the quarterback look that way, came flying through and made a fantastic play.
They need to get to the 40-yard line to keep this keep possession. Tyler Mackey in for Devin Haxby. You got to know where the down marker is here defensively for Geneseo. Give a little cushion to keep the receiver in front of you, in front of the 40-yard line.
Another one of these third down plays.
Out of the gun, Bemis looks to his right, fires the football, and it's caught for a first down at the 44-yard line. Receiver just sat down in the pocket, and he found him.
Yeah, and this Geneseo secondary is talking things over now because, again, that receiver, he didn't have anyone on him. There was a little breaking coverage that nobody was on that second split-out receiver.
5 straight pass attempts for Sycamore to start this third quarter on their drive. 1st and 10 coming up from their own 44. 7 minutes to play in the third, a 6-point lead for Geneseo. Crowd trying to cheer on this defense. 4 down linemen. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Pitcher comes in, wraps him up, and brings him down. It's a 3 or 4 yard run for Bemis.
Sycamore doing a good job at mixing things up now. They look to the air, and then whenever you're just expecting them to throw that ball downfield, they'll take Bemis and they'll run him right up the center, right up the gut. Not afraid to throw the big fella 6'4", 6'5" out there.
Ball at the 48-yard line of Sycamore, 2nd down and 6. And a quick third quarter, almost halfway through here, nearing the 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go. 3 receivers to the left side, bring one guy in motion, and now Sycamore's going to call a timeout, stop the clock, 6:08 to play in the third. The score, Geneseo 13, Sycamore 7.
Sycamore really spreading things out. They're going trips left, trips right, sending another receiver the opposite direction. They're just trying to spread it out as much as possible and try to look downfield. They're not looking real deep. They haven't really thrown it too far down the field, more than about 10 yards max.
Started from their own 17-yard line. They have it out to their own 48. Again, not much yards in that first half for Sycamore, 54, but they've gone about 30 yards right now to start this third quarter.
Yeah, like you said, they've matched their first half total. They're coming out of this halftime and they fixed some things. They talked over some things, and they're going to key on one thing. It seems like the Sycamore way, kind of, they like to key on one thing. If it's the pass game, whatever is working. Last week it was running quarterback Beavis right up the corner, right up the side. So this week now it looks like that's not working for them, as the Leafs defense is keying on that. They're spreading things out now and looking downfield.
See if the Geneseo defense can figure things out. They're pretty smart out there as far as recognizing a play. You know, you start going to the well too often, that's when you got Will Daniels or George Snowski stepping in and intercepting a pass. 2nd down and 6, back to action at the line of scrimmage. Hooker in motion, fake to him, Bemis throws, and his pass is caught by Couvert for another Sycamore first down inside the Geneseo 45. Down to the 43 as he slides down to make the reception. Another
hard play, a little bit too much of a buffer there. Shanowski knew he's just like we said. You don't want to get beat downfield. You don't want to play it too close because they'll double juke you and throw it downfield. But you gotta play him tight enough so that again he's not able to get those 5 yards. Those are the hardest ones to defend.
And it's just that was just a little curl pattern. He caught a lot of those last week. He had 10 receptions against St. Viator. Sycamore moving the ball, 1st and 10 from the Geneseo 43. Tailback. Up the middle run there. It wasn't Hooker who had the ball.
Tripped up by Jake Yarger.
Jake Yarger coming up with a stop up there in the middle. The junior has done great things. He's in the mix of things right now. It looks like they've taken Lane Acree out. No, I'm sorry, Lane's still in there. They're going with that same set that we talked about earlier with Yarger, Acree, Pritchard, and Himmelman, the big 4 up front.
5-yard run, 2nd and 5. Bemis, his pass is off the fingertips and incomplete, intended for his favorite target, Couvert, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
A guy that we haven't heard a lot of that has done really good things is Nicholas Neiman, number 5 over there for Sycamore. He did some great things throughout the regular season, but he's been a little quiet today. Nicholas, he's just a sophomore in there, but he's done. I'm sorry, no, he's a junior in there, but he's done well, and he hasn't come up with any big catches here today. Another big 3rd down play.
5 yards needed from the Geneseo 43. Bemis, wide receiver screen, completes the pass. Stopped at the 30-yard line.
Oh, and a late flag.
And a penalty flag down. It looks like a 1st down for.
There is a flag on the field.
It was a late one thrown by that back judge, the farthest official.
Officials all talking about it. And it's a penalty against Sycamore. Didn't see the call, but they pointed that way. When did the penalty occur?
Both officials threw their flags, so it looks like it's going to go from the spot of the foul. Illegal block in the back is actually going to be the official call back 10 yards. So now it's a long 3rd down, 3rd and about 16 for Sycamore.
Football back at the Geneseo 48-yard line. This is where, you know, as a quarterback, they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit farther downfield. And this is when you start thinking maybe interception or just knock the ball down. Get some pressure on Bemis here as they spread 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bemis in the gun, 5 yards behind the center. Play action, looking over the middle, lets it fly, and it is incomplete. Devin Haxby coming up on the coverage. And Geneseo's going to force Sycamore to punt, 4:32 to play in the 3rd, and Geneseo will get the ball back. They have the lead, 13-7.
Geneseo going to send their punt defense out there. They've been lenient before to send them out, but with 4th and about 15, they feel confident in sending them out there. Now this offense, it's struggled. It's been stopped up a couple of times now by Sycamore. They gotta get things intact here and now and see if they can move the ball.
Ready to punt the ball. Couvert sends it over to Devin Haxby, who's coming up, and Haxby will just make the catch. Nice play by Devin to come up and catch it at the 15 and keep that ball from rolling even farther back. Not in great field position, but we have the football back at the 15-yard line.
Geneseo fans, a couple of them come to their feet, starting the go chant, trying to get this offense back in check.
Geneseo had to punt to start this 3rd quarter. Second time they've touched the football in this half. 4:25 to play in the 3rd, up by 6. Handoff Medina behind Acree. And Medina to about the 18-yard line. He's coming up slow, but he's all right.
Things I like to see, though, is you see Jacob Van Dorn, you see Sam Thomas downfield getting those blocks, looking to that next level. When you got your guys, if you want to make those big runs, it's those linemen that are looking down to that 2nd level and trying to climb up to it and try to make a play.
3-yard run for Medina. 2nd and 7 from the Geneseo 18-yard line. Lane Acree stood up at the 20, and it will be 3rd down and 5.
Now you got some decisions. What you're going to do with getting up a little slow there was a Sycamore linebacker number 4, Brett Weaver. Very good player. He got up a little slow in the mix of things, but now you got a decision who you run with here on this 3rd down. Do you try to go outside? Up the middle, Weaver's kind of got it all stopped up. It's hard to run up the middle on him.
6 yards is what Geneseo needs on this 3rd down play from the 20-yard line. Rusk rolls left, throws the football. It's incomplete. He was being chased from behind and just had no time to set up and look downfield, and just got it thrown away before he got sacked.
Quick possession there. Leafs are going to have to punt it away now. Not much coming off the clock at all. They're going to have to work, try to talk it over. I'm sure see Coach Johnson Sr. talking with his offensive linemen. They're trying to get on the same page, try to get something, because try to get back to what was working in that 1st quarter.
2 punt return men back for Sycamore at around their own 45-yard line. Rusk to punt. Nice punt. Gonna come down around midfield, but again, it takes that bounce for Sycamore, and Geneseo's punt return team gets down there and then stops it at the Geneseo 49. 2 minutes and 53 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 13-7 is the score. Geneseo with the lead.
Coach Johnson said it in his pregame interviews when he was saying it's going to be a defensive battle, and right now that's what it's been. Both these defenses have been stout here coming out of this 2nd half. No one been able to give an inch, and now you see Sycamore coming out. They're spread all out again. Going to go to the air, it appears.
Where the majority of their plays have been throwing, but they'll run it here on 1st down. Hooker is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward to the Geneseo 47. It's 2nd down and 8.
Something just when they spread it all out, you think they're going to go to the air, they'll throw the run in there, because that's where this Geneseo defense has to stay disciplined. Again, your first read is run. You're always thinking run, and then whenever they do throw it, it's when you switch to your pass thinking mentality.
Bemis takes the snap, gets it rid of quickly, and it's complete to Couvert at the 40-yard line.
And it looked on the outside almost that Sycamore offensive player kind of pushed off off Jordan Chanowski on the far side. No call nevertheless, but it did look like he pushed off him to get to the sideline and get open.
3rd down and about 2. Geneseo's done pretty good on 3rd and short against Sycamore. It's been that 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 where they like to throw that 7-8 yard pass and pick up that 1st down. So we'll see what happens here. Ball at the Geneseo 40-yard line, 2:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Geneseo up 13-7. Sycamore's in a reset. Geneseo shifting on the defensive line. They'll run it. Geneseo plugs up the hole. It's a loss on the play, all the way back to the Geneseo 42. It's 4th down and 4. And Sycamore is primarily has decided to punt the ball here on these other 4th down plays, but they take a little while to think about it. Now they send the punt team in.
Going to send in a new team, like you said, but Leafs are going to stay with that same defense. They don't trust it all that much. But 4th down and about 4 yards, that was a big play by those guys up front. It was all Drew Himmelman, Lane Acree, Grant Pritchard, Jacob Yarger. Those guys stopped that one up.
Couvert back to punt for Sycamore. Devin Haxby, the return man for Geneseo. And not even close to Haxby, but it takes a Sycamore bounce at the 15, and Geneseo's going to start at the 12-yard line.
It's been a battle in this 3rd quarter so far, back and forth, back and forth. Who's going to make the first mistake? And the Leafs are hoping Sycamore does right here.
Sycamore's been just flowing to the play side. You know, they're reading the play and just kind of overloading to that side when they see that play going to the right or the left. So
yeah, they really have that linebacker in the middle, Weaver. When I watch him, he's just so good at knowing where the ball's at.
They'll sweep it around to Medina after faking to Acree. Medina has a seam down the sidelines. He's pushed out of bounds and has a nice run for the Green Machine offense.
The biggest run so far in this 3rd quarter, about 15 yards. He had a seam on the outside, was able to get around the corner.
First down out to the 27-yard line. 1 minute and 17 seconds to play in the 3rd. Geneseo with the football and a 6-point lead. Medina and Pitra will line up at the wings. Medina in motion behind Acree. It's Acree who gets the football from Rusk. He stood up, still on his feet in a high tackle, a hand to the face mask right at the end and right in front of the official, but no call.
And it looked as if it should have been. We were right here. We had the best angle almost at it up high, and it was a hand right into that face mask, but no call.
Acree with the 4-yard run. He's had some tough yards up the middle, but his running between the tackles opens things up on the outside for Medina and Pitra. And that's Geneseo looks at a 2nd and 6. Toss it to Medina, trying to weave his way through as Geneseo gets some blocks out in front of him. Joey is just so canny with finding that little opening and just waiting for that play to develop in front of him. He has a nice run for Geneseo. I think it might be a 1st down.
He really is. He slides right on in there. He's a very slippery runner, and it's another 1st down for Geneseo. But he's one of the guys that looks like that's going to step up in this 2nd half. We talk about one of those 3 running backs got to step up, and it looks like Joey. He stepped up last week, and he's stepping up big so far here in the 3rd quarter.
56 seconds to play in the 3rd. 1st and 10, Geneseo. They have it out to the 39-yard line. Lane Acree just powering his way to the 45, the 46-yard line.
A nice run for Lane there. He's been stopped up a lot here. They've kind of keyed on him here in this 3rd quarter, but they're being able to get a nice long 6-yard run right up the middle.
And you start feeling that momentum going back to Geneseo. This offensive line is starting to take over this game and allowing the Geneseo backs to get some 5-6-yard runs. So it sets up a 2nd down. We'll call it a 4 from the Geneseo 45-yard line. Back to Acree. Acree stood up after a short run, which looks to be the last play of this 3rd quarter. Geneseo will have it when we come back to start the 4th period, looking at a 3rd down and 3, a 6-point lead for Geneseo at the end of the 3rd quarter. It's the Green Machine 13, Sycamore 7.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Village Home Stores, Liberty Village, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
We start the fourth quarter with Geneseo leading Sycamore 13-7. Zach Mackey and Lauren Lemke with you. Geneseo with the football. They're looking at a third down and about 3 from their own 47-yard line, trying to keep this drive going
and they were stopped up in the beginning of the third quarter. They were stopped up on 2 consecutive series and even that last series of the second quarter. So now it would be a good time to get this offense rolling and really show Sycamore that they have control of this game and they can really move it.
This quarter break kind of came at a bad time because Geneseo had so much momentum. You just wanted to see them run that third down play before the quarter came to an end. We have an officials timeout just to get things set here to start the fourth. And now we're ready to go. Geneseo at the line. Rusk under center behind Jacob Beath. Spins, gives it to Pitra. He's wrapped up at the ankles, and Pitra is very close. The linesman comes in. Looks like we got a good spot out of it.
Yeah, this closest official, if we go off where he's standing, it's a first down, and yep, it's signaled first down Geneseo, and now they just get to keep rolling. They've got 2 consecutive first downs now, and now they just got to keep things moving.
This drive started from their own 12-yard line. They have it out to the midfield stripe. We start the fourth quarter. 11:45 on the clock. 13-7 Geneseo. Himmelman splits wide left, Beard to the right side. Medina comes in motion. He'll take the handoff from Rusk. Medina weaving his way through. And is a typical Joey Medina run as he has it all the way down to the 43-yard line of Sycamore.
Yeah, Joey Medina, he's really come through in this third quarter. Now he's starting off in this fourth quarter. He's being able to get some big runs, a big 7-yard pickup for him on the left side.
Alex Disher bringing the play in for Geneseo. 2nd down and 3. Third quarter was just a game of punts. Both teams punted twice. Geneseo looking to get some points here on this drive from the Sycamore 43 back to Medina. He's hit hard near the 40-yard line.
Joey Medina with a carry. He gets brought down.
Looks like we need about 3rd and a yard, less than a yard. No, it's a first down. All right. Trying to call this game from the stand. Sometimes you just don't get a good angle.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was wrong again.
First down now, and this ground game starting to open up even more. Going heavily off Joey Medina.
Geneseo breaks the huddle. They'll line it up at the Sycamore 40-yard line. Pitra in motion. Ball is fumbled, and apparently Geneseo got back on it, and they did. Falling on that loose ball is Drew Himmelman, and that saved us there.
Yeah, that shows you how scary it was that your end had to jump on the ball to get it, but still going to stay in the Leafs' favor here.
No gain on the play. Geneseo keeps the football. 2nd down and 10. 10 minutes to play in the game. Geneseo up by 1 score, by 6 points. Medina, wing right, with Pitra and Acree in the backfield, and the pass attempt by Rusk is knocked down by a linebacker intended for Himmelman.
Well, you know what linebacker it is. Number 4, Brett Weaver. He's done a great job this ball game, and that's why he's the defensive player of the year on the other side. Sycamore fans to their feet. Another big 3rd down play. That's what this game has been comprised of, is all these 3rd down plays, and this is a huge one that can stop or keep on rolling a Geneseo drive.
Only touchdown for Sycamore today, an interception return which came on third down. Geneseo's 2 touchdowns came on third down. Green Machine, they need 10 yards from the Sycamore 10. Medina gets the call. Joey to the left, still on his feet. Second, third effort. What a play by Joey Medina, who may have started in motion a little early.
Nevertheless, he was able to get around the outside and shoot through the gap. Joey they're going to call it 4th down. It's going to be 4th down, and it looks like a yard. And now Coach Johnson is going to keep his offense out there. 4th down and a yard.
9 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the game. Geneseo with the lead of 6 points. Trying to keep this drive going. 4th down and 2. Tight formation. Full house backfield. Russ gives it to Acree. First down. He's got it. Gets across the 30-yard line to the 29. That's all he needed.
First down.
Finally a call by the official.
There we go. He waited a while to signal that one, but keep this drive alive. Love that call by Coach Johnson. You got this momentum. You got a couple of first downs and 1 yard. You got to bet on your team and have confidence in it. 1st and 10 now.
Geneseo's first score today. They went on an 88-yard play drive, 12 plays. This one started at the 12-yard line too. They're trying to equalize that on 1st and 10. Give it back to Medina. Look at the convoy out in front of him of blockers, and Medina out to the 22-yard line. Boy, you got Sam Thomas out there. You got Shevsky pulling. There's like 4 guys in front of him and just knocking guys over.
And again, we talk about that's how these big plays happen, is even on that one that Joey had, that big 3rd down play over here on this far side. It was Jacob Van Dorn downfield laying a block. It's these linemen that are able to get downfield and able to take up as many blocks as possible.
2nd down and 5. Second back, it's pitcher up the middle. He found an opening, he stood up, and finally brought down inside the 20. That's a 1st down run. Put it at the 17-yard line.
Another chance for this offense to find the end zone. It's been a while since we've been able to call a Geneseo touchdown. They've had trouble moving the ball, but now it appears this drive they're getting things going a little bit better. Still having a little trouble here and there.
Tight formation. Long toss to Pitra. Eludes a defender. The ball is fumbled. It's popped up in the air. It's still loose. There's a pileup towards the far sideline. And the way Sycamore fans are acting, Geneseo has the ball. We just really can't see too well from the stands here, but whoo! Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I think it might have been even Drew, too, who was able to get his hand on it, but it was punched way out of there. We saw the ball come way up over Pitcher's head. It was punched out by a defender, and at least the Leafs are able to get on it, and it ends up being about a 9-yard gain.
2nd down, and less than 2. 7 minutes to play in the game. 13-7 Geneseo. Within field goal range right now, but let's get a touchdown. Medina hit at the line. He's going to fight his way forward.
Joey Medina with a carry.
Should be close to that 1st down.
By Nick Neiman and Ryan Grant.
Waiting to see where they spot the ball. Need to get to the 7-yard line. I think they've got it right at the 8, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Looks like they're going to bring the chains out and make sure here. What a fast 3rd quarter, and so far halfway through the 4th quarter. This second half has really flown by. Both teams playing fantastic defense. Has really been this down and out Geneseo able to put together an old-fashioned drive.
Yeah, our last touchdown was from Lane Acree back in the 2nd quarter to break this 7-7 tie. It's probably under, 2 minutes to go in that when he scored.
And it's going to be short here. It's going to bring up 3rd down and just under a yard.
So here we go. Another 3rd down play. We've talked about that all game. This is how you win games. Convert the 3rd downs.
Sycamore has done a great job at converting their 3rd downs, but the problem is a lot of times a lot of times they don't even have a chance to get there. They've struggled turning the ball over, or they have struggled on some of those third downs.
Geneseo's ready to run this play. They have to set the markers again. Now we're ready to go. 3rd and 1 from the Sycamore 7. Up the gut, looks like a first down run the way the pile moved there. And Geneseo's gonna have it inside the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. 6:32 to play in the game.
Very hard to stop this Geneseo offense with 1 yard to go.
Josh Beard running in the play.
In goal from the 5.
Last time the Leafs were inside this 5-yard line, they came up empty. Got to change that this time.
Trying to finish this drive with the touchdown on 1st down from the 5. Acree left side, puts his head down, touchdown, Green Machine, touchdown, Lane Acree.
There we go. It's been a while since we've been able to call that. Touchdown left side. He was able to go right outside the tackle and squeeze right on in.
19-7 Geneseo. 10th caller to La Roma Pizza, 944-6171. You win a free large 2-topping pizza, live listeners only, 1 winner per season. Must redeem within 1 week. Well, this drive started back in the 3rd quarter, covering 88 yards and ended with a Lane Acree touchdown run.
It's great to see him eat up this clock, take as much time off and able to put in. Now the Leafs are going to go for 2 here.
Out of the pistol, Rusk to the end zone, caught by Himmelman, I believe, for the 2-point conversion.
2 points, and now we're even back on up after the Leafs missed that 1 point after touchdown. 21-7, they're rolling now.
Great drive there for Geneseo. That's just a classic drive. Run the football, get all 3 of your running backs, and Joey Medina had some runs in that series that really kept things going, especially when they were in the hole down at the 12-yard line. And
yeah, that was just what the Leafs offense needed. They had struggled in the end of the 2nd quarter. In the 3rd quarter, they needed something to get their confidence back, to get them ready to go, and Joey Medina was the mainstay of that drive. Lane Acree helping out too here and there, and of course Pitra too, but again, Medina, he just did some big things in that drive to keep that going.
Offensive line, Jacob Beath, Zach Shetsky, we've got Jacob Van Doren, Sam Thomas.
It all starts with those guys.
Nick Anderson. I mean, they have just taken over this game, dominating the line of scrimmage, and now desperation coming up here for the Spartans. You're down by 2 scores, 6 minutes to play. Just don't give up a big play, Geneseo, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to throw it down there. They're going to be looking for that big play, as you said.
How about an 18-play scoring drive for Geneseo? 7 minutes and 11 seconds, 88 yards, a 5-yard run by Acree. Ready to restart the game. Ryan Ganson to kick off from the 40-yard line. His kick coming down at the 10. Trying to return it out to the wide side. Geneseo pursuing, and he's going to be taken down, losing yards back to about the 6.
Scott got a hand on him. He came flying down like a bullet, like he always does on those special teams, but he had his teammates behind him to eventually bring him down, and now the defense out again. Try to come up with a stop. This Sycamore team has struggled so much to be able to move the ball.
And their worst field position to start a series from their own 9-yard line.
It's hard for Sycamore to put together a drive, and they're definitely not going to want to do it down by 2 scores with 6 minutes left to go.
Their only points on a defensive score today. In the end zone, wide receiver screen. What a hit there by Geneseo. The pass is caught, but it's Hillman who comes down off his defensive end position and just makes the tackle after the catch.
Pass is going to be caught, but no big hurt. Again, only a 2-yard gain there. And as long as you can keep it down to 2 yards, you can keep this alive here. This would be a big stop for Geneseo. Get the ball back. They could put together another drive and take as much time off as possible.
3-yard gain, ball at the 11-yard line. Pressure coming, Bemis weaving around in the back, and now he's going to be dropped and sacked for a loss on the play.
A big loss too of about 3 back there. It was he was running all around, and then Drew Himmelman with that huge arm span. It's going to be hard to get around him. He was able to get a hand on that jersey.
Justin Scott helping out as well on that tackle. Makes it 3rd down and 12 from the Sycamore 7-yard line. Geneseo can step back a little bit in the secondary. Again, no big plays here, and let's see if we can stop them, get the ball back. 4:50 to play in the game. Geneseo 21, Sycamore 7. Spartans with the football, 3rd and long.
Gonna go to the air.
Here comes the pressure, and he's dropped back. Is it a safety?
It's a safety.
A safety for the Green Machine defense.
2 points right there. This offensive front, or this defensive front, correct me, we've talked about them. They have been great up there. All 4 of them back in the lineup, and they come up putting pressure on this quarterback all day and come up with 2 points for Geneseo.
Himmelman and Pritchard in on that. And now it's 23-7. We can't give out any pizzas or anything like that. But
yeah, but these guys up front, they have just been great. They've been putting pressure on them. They have taken this running game completely out. And in Sycamore, they're just besides themselves, not knowing what they're going to do. And now Geneseo gets 2 points, and they got a kick to them. Now Geneseo gets to be able to put together a drive if they can. They got 4:30 left to go. It's looking really good for the Green Machine.
Free kick will be coming up here for the Spartans. 16-point lead for Geneseo. They scored 10 points here in this 4th quarter and 10 points in the last minute and a half.
We'll see if they punt it or decide to kick it, whatever.
Yeah, they have that option.
Looks like they're...
He's got a tee. I think he's going to kick off. And this wind has been pretty consistent in the 2nd half. I mean, it wasn't too bad in the 1st half, but
yeah,
it's probably about 10 to 15 miles an hour now. So
coming right at our face over here.
But it feels good when you're winning.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not as bad.
So let's see. Devin Haxby is going to be back at the 30-yard line at his own 30. The kickoff is from the 20 for following the safety.
They're ready for the onside kick. They got that squad in there.
They have to do it, I think, being down by 2 scores. But they'll pooch it up high. It's a free ball, so we got to get on it. And Haxby will field it off the bounce. Comes up the middle at midfield, and Haxby to the Sycamore 47-yard line. There's 4 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game, and Geneseo has a 16-point lead.
Be nice to put it on the ground here. They got to go 49 yards. Let's take 4 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock and move on to the next week.
18-play scoring drive on that touchdown by Geneseo. 8 up 7 minutes on that clock, and they get the ball back, and they'll just ground and pound here against the Sycamore defense. Russ missed the handoff, and he just takes a knee back at the 50, loss in the play of 3 yards.
Yeah, a smart play by Rusky. It was a missed handoff, and instead of forcing anything and having a turnover, Sycamore is going to take a timeout here, and they got, I believe they have 3 left, so they'll be able to stop most of the clock here on this series. A 1st down would be huge here for Geneseo.
Yeah, the loss of 3 kind of opens the door for Sycamore to call a timeout and try to stop Geneseo in 2 plays here and get the ball back with about 4 minutes left if that goes their way. But ball's back at the 50-yard line, and Geneseo will have a 2nd down and 13 coming up. So the other game that's going on right now is Lombard Montini and Woodstock Marion. Last we heard Montini had the lead there, and again it's going to be a road game for Geneseo next Saturday. Just run out these last 4 minutes.
And what a game that would be if it was Geneseo Montini, just because the history that goes back between these programs. When you look at them, they're just 2 quality programs that get community support and have a lot of history in the IHSA.
Most recently with the wrestling.
Yeah.
Last couple
2 years, yeah.
2nd and long. Geneseo back to the running game up the middle. It's Lane Akery.
Yeah, and I'm told Montini is ahead 20-13 now at the end of the third quarter.
That game is tight. 3rd and 10 coming up for Geneseo. Sycamore will call their second timeout. They have one left. Football at the Sycamore 47-yard line when we resume play in 1 minute.
Sycamore just trying to stop that clock however they can, because again, they trail by 2 scores, and well, actually it'd be they'd probably go for 2, so they could get within it here. 2 scores. That Geneseo safety kind of helps move things even more, because again, you do score a Sycamore twice, you still got to get the point after touchdown twice and go for 2. So
Geneseo in good shape here because of that. So even if we have to give the ball back to them, they have a lot of odds to overcome.
That is for sure. And the Sycamore fans, a lot of them you can see have kind of left and gone away. They definitely did not have the fan support that the Leafs have. Leafs have the whole berm, all the bleachers, everything all filled up all around.
3rd and 10. Ryan Pitra takes the call, and Pitra to the 45-yard line. Geneseo is going to have to punt the ball here on 4th down.
They have to punt it away, and that defense will come back out, but no real worry, because again, this Sycamore offense has not been able to move the ball whatsoever against the Geneseo defense. Again, their only score coming off a pick 6 early on in the second quarter.
Greg Rusk will punt the football. He's had 4 punts today.
Sets himself up to punt for Geneseo.
He'll stand at his own 44-yard line.
Bryce Hansen and Dion Hooker are back.
2 return men back, standing around the 15 for Sycamore as the clock is running down to 3:30. Punt's on its way. Nice high punt by Rusk. Caught at the 12, trying to return to the right. Geneseo's down there to make the tackle at the 15-yard line.
Gonna have to go a long ways to be able to put this in the end zone. Gonna have to go, I believe, 85 yards. It's gonna be a big drive considering the adversity that this Sycamore team has had to overcome. They haven't been able to move the ball on the ground whatsoever. They've resorted to the pass, and again, that hasn't worked out all that well for them.
Zach Shefsky on the tackle. Yeah, last time Bemis tried throwing, he had a couple sacks. He resulted in a safety.
Yeah.
When you know the quarterback's going to throw the ball, you can start teeing off and blitz and all that. So 1st and 10, they start from their 16-yard line. Screen play to the wide receiver inside. He makes the catch, comes up the middle, has a 1st down, out past the 30-yard line to about the 31.
In Geneseo, they've gone to their Okie defense, if you will. They've kind of changed things up. They've put in another defensive back, and they've taken some guys off the offensive line. They only got, 3 down guys, so they've taken a guy out and put a DB in.
Quick offense here, no huddle. Bemis to throw on 1st and 10. Flush from the pocket, running to the sideline, trying to get out of bounds, and he does. Stopping the clock with 3:03 to play in the game. Geneseo up by 16 points. Drew Himmelman's going to get back in. The defensive lineup for Ryan Hartsock.
A gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and
Sycamore
5
down to 1 timeout, or they use all 3?
I believe they used all 3 to be able to get the ball back in that series.
They have it out to their own 36-yard line on 2nd down and 5. Bemis with a 5-yard run. 3 receivers to this side of the field. Bemis looking this way, throws, makes the reception at the midfield stripe and has it to the Geneseo 45-yard line. Again, that receiver just kind of sitting down in front of the defensive backs.
Sycamore's working fast. They're doing a good job, but again, down 16 points. They have to, no timeouts.
Ready to snap this play from the Geneseo 45. Bemis in the pocket. His pass is caught going up high.
And it's interesting, we never saw this offense through the first 3.5 quarters. All of a sudden, they've just gone about 50 yards in a minute.
Football at the Geneseo 28-yard line on that 1st down pass. 3 receivers to the left. Here comes the blitz with Beath. Another completion at the 15-yard line. About the same play to Tremmel. 2:40 to play in the game. Geneseo up by 16. Spartans no huddle. Ready to snap it again. On the whistle. 3 receivers to the right. Bemis with time to throw to the end zone. High pass. It is knocked away by Will Daniels in the end zone. Incomplete.
Daniels in perfect position. It took too long for Bemis to decide to throw it there. When he threw it, he gave it a little bit too much height. It was just kind of a waiting game there for Will Daniels to be able to go up after that one.
This one's not over yet as Sycamore has it at the Geneseo 15-yard line. Again, they need 2 touchdowns and then two-point conversions to tie the game. Geneseo trying to end this drive here with an interception. 2nd and 10. Screen play inside. It's caught by Tremmel inside the 5, close to the goal line. He stopped at about the 2.
Again, even if Sycamore puts it in here, they would have to get the onside kick. They'd also have to go for 2 on both of those to be able to have a chance.
And they'll stop the clock on 1st and 10. He spiked the ball.
That's a surprise for me. They did just spike the ball, so he's got an extra 25 seconds, I guess, to talk it over.
They may not have had a play ready and just thought it was better just to get some different personnel in, maybe?
I guess so. 2 yards to go. Just kind of a surprise.
They usually like to run it down here with Weaver or Hooker, and they get those 2 running backs into the lineup. So this is more just a power. This is a power run, probably right up the middle, trying to get a quick score here. 2:23 to play in the game. Geneseo 23, Sycamore 7. Fake the run, throw it out in the backfield, and it's caught for a touchdown.
Was able to get in the end zone. He was wide open. He was set up in the end position, just running an out route on the right side, and he was wide open. A touchdown, but again, they got to overcome a lot here. They're going to have to get this 2-point conversion. They'd have to get an onside kick. They'd have to move the ball down again and again get 2 points. But just shows you these playoff games, whenever you think you got the advantage, whenever you think you got it, these teams are right in it all the time.
23-13, going for 2 is Sycamore. 2 receivers out wide right. Bemis throws the wide receiver screen. Geneseo all over it. It's caught at the 5-yard line, and that is it.
That just made this game a 2-possession ball game again. That's huge.
And that safety is big.
Yeah, you go back to that safety. That, like you said, that was a huge play for this Leafs team to come up with that, and it's still a 2-possession game after they scored that touchdown.
23-13 is the score, 10-point lead for Geneseo. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game, and expect the onside kick here from Sycamore.
Really interesting to see the way they were able to move that ball down the field. We never saw that in the first 3.5 quarters. It was a very scary looking offense there when they were moving the ball down the field like that.
It was. I mean, for some reason, Bemis had time to throw the ball, and his receivers were getting right in the area that was open.
He looked so comfortable back there. He was able to look all around, find his open guy. He looked like a solid quarterback back there.
Onside kick coming up here, we think, from Sycamore. The last time they kind of pooched it up high in the air. Well, they try to squib this towards the front line. The hands team in for Geneseo. Onside kick. It goes 10 yards. It's picked up by Josh Beard. Beard runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that should do it. Geneseo just needs to run out the last 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Yeah, and without any timeouts, it appears that the Leafs will be able to just even knee this down, I believe, as long as they keep things going. But great job by Josh Beard to pick it up and not only go down to the ground, get a couple yards out of it.
At least I'd probably have first down here with a 25-second play clock. It's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, it'll be right on there.
Depends how much time they take to spot the football. But Geneseo's going to start at the Sycamore 36, up by 10, with 2:17 to go in the game. And Sycamore trying to time the snap. And then a kind of a late hit there by Sycamore on Rusk. Geneseo may have thought Sycamore had jumped off sides at the loss on the play of 4.
Also 4, but as long as this clock keeps on running, it's all that really matters. And again, it would be quite the feat for Sycamore. They're down by 2 scores still. It's it would be huge for them to have a shot in this one still, as the Leafs just got to keep that clock going. They can get it way down close, if not run it all the way out right here.
At the line of scrimmage now with 1:40 to play. Cole Hunzacker, number 37, is in the game. He gets the handoff, and Hunzacker carries it out to the 35.
Yeah, and you like that call right there. Put Hunzacker in. He's done a great job. He's been called on a lot, and Lane Acres had a little bit of ankle issues, so you don't want to do anything too severe here when you got the advantage.
3rd down and 10 coming up for Geneseo. Clock is moving as we are under 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. And now down to 1 minute. Medina in motion. Pitra with the handoff. Ryan goes up the middle for a few yards. It'll be 4th and 8.
We'll see how long they take to spot this.
And Zach Versluis. Gain of 3 on the
Are they blowing the whistle yet?
7 from the 33.
There they go.
So it's going to be about 15 seconds that are going to be left on this clock once the Leafs punt it away. Here's they're going to send it downfield on 4th down here. Geneseo faithful to their feet. Clock goes down to 18 now.
Rusk in punt formation.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Leafs take the 5-yard penalty of the delay of game and move it back 5 and then see Russ punt it. Yep, that's what they're going to do. Get a delay of game.
There's a timeout on the field. Timeout call.
Oh no, Coach Johnson's going to take a timeout here just before the last delay of game, before the delay of game was called.
Once again, fans, the GHS
7 seconds to play in the game. Geneseo's going to win this one to move on to the Class 5A semifinals. Up by 10 now, 23-13 over Sycamore.
Well, now they're going to call the delay of game. They are going to mark it back 5, but again, what does it matter? Just going to punt it away here with 7.3 seconds left on the clock.
2 long scoring drives for Geneseo today of 88 yards both. And they had a short field off a turnover of 25 yards and 3 touchdowns and a safety. Rusk, his punt, gets it away, almost blocked. Fair catch signaled and made. And then dropped the ball at the 10-yard line. Clock shows all zeros, and it's official.
Now,
Geneseo wins.
There are flags. There may be one untimed down. There are flags on the play. We'll see. The clock is at 0, as you said.
Officials talking about it. Penalty against Geneseo.
If they accept it,
Preliminary call is illegal procedure against Geneseo.
I believe they would have to punt it one more time, unmarked down.
Or we just take a knee, can't we? There's no time on the clock.
Probably right.
So we'll see what the options are here. Clock showing no time. Coach Larry Johnson talking to the official.
So he said the clock is at 0. The official made the signal that it was an untimed down whenever he signaled it. So yeah, it looks like the offense is going to go in, like you said, and just take a knee.
Go in victory formation.
Yeah. There you go. That's the way to end it.
So it's going to be officially over here after Greg Russ takes a knee. Geneseo lining up at the Sycamore 43-yard line. And now it's over. Geneseo wins it, 23-13 over Sycamore. They move on to the Class 5A semifinals next week with a shot to go to state. So congratulations to Coach Larry Johnson. Players and coaches, way to go, guys. Good job.
How about it? On to the semis. This machine just keeps on rolling. That's Coach Johnson's, again, his first win against Sycamore in his coaching era here. He these last 2 times have been hard ones. One of them in the playoffs, as you said, and last year was a big loss for this Geneseo team. So it's nice to be able to come here to Sycamore, get the win, get out of here onto the semis, roll the green machine.
Yeah, they won't have a shot at Rochester this year, but they kind of make do for what happened last year here at Sycamore, winning it 23-13. Geneseo's going to be in the semifinals for the 15th time and trying to get to state for the 11th time. First time ever in 5A if they can do it next week. Tight game between Montini and Woodstock, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. By the time this airs on Sunday and Thursday nights, we'll know who the opponent is. But the teams are shaking hands. A hard-fought football game here between 2 really good teams, and Geneseo is now 12-0 on the season. Sycamore ends their season at 7-5.
This Geneseo team really had to fight through some adversity too. They hadn't seen it in this playoff run and really through their regular season where they weren't able to move the ball whatsoever, and they kind of figured it out at halftime, came back out, had some troubles, but in the end they were able to put another score in here early and they were able to get the job done, and that's all that matters. This defense came up big again, letting up that 1 touchdown, the pick 6, and the other one was here late in the 4th quarter, just trying to prevent kind of a little bit of a defense. But kudos to the green machine, able to bounce back after going through a little bit of adversity there in the 2nd and 3rd quarters.
We'll get the closing stats here as Geneseo puts up 232 yards on the ground on 56 carries. Not much passing today, 6 yards, but it was good for a touchdown. We'll take that. And
yeah, you said it, 232 yards on the ground. You really don't have to look to that pass game that much. The way that this ground game was going, and it was all headlined by Joey Medina, who did a great job. Medina, he had 88 yards in this contest today.
Yeah, all 3 running backs with 15 or more carries. Pitcher had 15 for 85 and 62 yards for Lane Akery and 2 touchdowns. For Sycamore, they only had 24 yards rushing the football, 21 from Hooker, and Bemis 157 yards passing on 15 completions. A lot of those yards coming on that touchdown drive.
Yeah, and those 24 yards rushing, I believe that's all they had in the first half. So not able to get any more yards or any less yards here in the second half. It was all that pass game, and the Leafs defense did great against it.
Geneseo wins it 23-13. Thank you, Zach Mackey. We'll catch up with you next week. I'd like to thank Ron Hartman and Geneseo Communications for providing ITV50's internet streaming. Kim Kennett back at the WGRG FM studio. Our statistician, Willis Andel. Technical coordinator, Keith Kennett. And all of you for tuning in to Green Machine Football here on TV50. Final score, Geneseo 23, Sycamore 13.